This is a proper Meniere question, and you're going to be stretched with your knowledge of surds at the same time because it's just so big and ugly here. And so what you've got is a hyperbola because the x is at the bottom. The properties that it has is that the range is everywhere for y except 1, which means there must be a asymptote happening at 1. So q is 1. It passes through the origin, so that's a point that I could sub in because at this stage I'm now missing 2 letters, so I need 2 points. And here's another ugly point. And so the bulk of getting our marks is going to be substitution. And so let me start with the easier one. If I sub 0, 0 into here, I get 0 equals a 0 plus p plus 1. I'm going to take the 1 across, and that's just p, and I'm going to times it up, and so a just equals negative p, and at that stage I'm at a bit of a dead end, and so I'm going to move on to substituting in the square roots. And so if I substitute these back into the original question, I would have the y value would be here, so it would be that a is minus p, so let me just pop minus p there, and x is this point here, the root 2 plus 2, and there was a plus p on the bottom. Okay, so just that you can see the y value has been substituted in there and the x value has been substituted in there, and at the same time, instead of writing a, I've just put minus p, so that all of this is just in terms of p now. Now just becomes the headache of trying to work it out. And so what I might do is I might just take this positive one, I'll cancel out the 2 1s. I'm going to times this entire bottom line up. So let me write it out for you first, just because it's going to be quite involved. So root times a root of the same thing just becomes 2. A root 2 times 2 just becomes 2 of those. A root 2 times a p just becomes p root 2. What's helpful when you've got multiple square roots, and that is like you did with the easiest of algebraic questions, is get your letters to one side. So I'm going to move the p across and get your numbers to the other side. And so I'm going to take my numbers across, even though they look weird. What do I do any stage of maths when I feel stuffed? I just factorize. So I'm going to take out a p, and I'm going to take out a minus 2. These are basically the same, just written the other way around, so they can cancel. So p is minus 2. And then if p is minus 2, I'm coming back up here, then it's minus 2 is a, so a would equal positive 2. So p is negative 2 and a is positive 2. Again, I'm quite a sucker for rewriting the whole equation just as a habit. And so a is positive 2, p is negative 2. And we had worked out earlier that the asymptote was 1. The last question, when they ask us to draw it, we've got the x asymptote happening at positive 2. So that's coming down here. We've got the y asymptote at the end here at 1. So there's the y asymptote is at 1. We know that it goes through the origin. The top number here is positive, which means that it should be in the first and third quadrants. And so it's going to go through the origin. It's going to be hugging inside the asymptotes. And then the point that we can put here is this other point that we know. So root 2 plus 2 and root 2 plus 1. And there you have your graph. To be fastidious, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. I hope that you found that juicy question helpful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Thanks.